Hey, Beth from Ozark Prepsteaders here, and I am here to share with you all a little update. Update on the craziness that is the world right now and how that is affecting life here in the Ozarks. And just a little mini update on Randy and I and what's happening for our longer term subscribers who've been with us for a little bit on this journey. So let's start with that. We left Vegas back in May. Gave up our jobs, our life, our house, everything. We came to the Ozarks. As y'all know who have been with us for a minute, we didn't have a place to live. We didn't know what we were going to do. I had to get 2 new real estate licenses, Arkansas and Missouri. Randy had to start his contracting business back up. And it was a little nuts. And we did it. I'm here to share with you that we have been successful in all of those endeavors. We have a nice little house in town. Our chickens are getting huge. If anybody saw our chicken videos, I didn't realize chickens grow that fast. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. I did not realize how fast they grow. And so our sunroom is currently a aviary with chickens running all over and crapping all over because we have been so inundated and crazy busy with folks needing help here in the Ozarks that we haven't had time to build this dang chicken coop yet. But Randy's working on it in his spare time, of which he has very little, and hopefully we'll have a better update on that for y'all soon. I wanted to come on today and talk to y'all about what's happening here. And our good friend RWP, Real World Prepper, he gave us a shout out on his channel last night, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful that he did that. Here's what's happening. America has gone crazy. People are terrified, and hundreds of thousands of people are leaving their current cities and states and trying to get to some place where they feel they will be safe. Most folks are headed towards red states. The Ozarks is a very, very popular area for folks who are trying to find a safe space to start over. And we're also really aware of the political climate in our country and how scary it is for so many folks, and how desperate so many folks are to make an escape from these blue states and cities while they still have a chance. We personally, and I am speaking for Randy a little bit, and we're not one person, he does have his own thoughts on it, but I can tell you that we both are in agreement that we do not think things are going to get better in November. We both feel that it doesn't matter who wins this election, we're going to see more of what we've already seen. And in some cases, we're going to see some things that a lot of us probably never wanted to see or never thought we would see in the United States. My personal thought on the matter is the Democrats are not going to give up. It doesn't matter how many real, live, true votes Donald Trump gets. The Democrats are going to cheat. They're going to outright cheat. And I hear so many people dancing around it. There is nothing to dance around. They have come right out and said, we will not know who wins this election on election night. Okay? Will not know who wins this election on election night. And it could take weeks and months to determine who the winner is. There's only one reason for that, folks, and that's because they want a ballot harvest and they're going to cheat. And if by any way at all, it looks like they're not going to be successful in their cheating, like they were not successful with Clinton, they're going to burn our country down. And if Trump does win, like if so many people turn out to vote that there is no way they can cheat because, the number of registered voters is nailed on election night. The number of registered voters is nailed on election night. They're going to burn the country down. That's what's going to happen. If they do cheat and win, when they do cheat, if they attempt to steal the election, this vast silent majority of patriots that has sat here on our hands with our mouths mostly shut for 9 months now is going to rise up in force like you've never seen. And we will officially be in the next civil war. I, like many other patriots that I follow and listen to on YouTube, believe that the Civil War has already started. We are currently in another civil war, but the bullets are going to start flying. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Trump wins outright on election night or if Biden wins because, they've cheated him in. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's going to be more of the same. And it's going to be violent and nasty and dirty. And if you are in a place where you already don't feel safe and you've been thinking about getting out, I'm telling you, you're running out of time. Here's what we're finding here in the Ozarks. Prices are skyrocketing. And I mean a property that cost $60,000 at the beginning of this year is now 120 to 140. It's skyrocketing. We have a huge inventory shortage. We do not have enough houses and property for all the folks that want it. And most of the folks who I talk to on a regular basis are all looking for the same thing. Everybody wants 5 to 10 acres minimum with a house and a well and a septic with live water for under $100,000. Okay? With live water is almost impossible anyway. And by that, I mean a year-round running creek, river, stream, spring. That's almost impossible anyway. But whenever you add on that you want a house, and outbuildings. Everybody wants outbuildings for their animals and their farm equipment. And fencing. Can we have some fencing? Whenever you add all that up, it's just very, very unrealistic. And you really could buy some without the live creek, stream, river. You really could buy a little hobby farm or something for $60,000 or $70,000, a year ago. You can't now. If you find it, it's going to be an extreme fixer-upper. And we love that. We're more than willing to help you with that. But you just have to have your expectations in check. That's probably the biggest issue that I'm finding. I'm talking to 10 to 15 people a day who are desperately trying to get from where they are to somewhere else. If you're looking for a place outside of the Ozarks, I will refer you to somebody who you can trust to help you get what you're looking for. If you're looking in the Ozarks, it will be me and my team helping you. And I can just tell you that the thing that everybody wants is very, very hard to come by, and it's not cheap any longer, okay? I have lots of people who say, well, I'll just buy property and build something. Well, here's the issue that we have in this particular part of the country. Contractors who can help you build from the ground up are very, very few and far between, and most of them are booked out a minimum of a year. If you are looking for 5 to 10 acres with a nice house that has an outbuilding and is within a halfway decent drive to town, let's say a 40-minute drive to town, you're going to be up at 170 to 180 minimum, okay? And that's just getting in. And it's still going to need a little bit of work. If you want something really nice, a really nice house on 10 acres with fences and barns, and the house doesn't need any work, and it's well manicured, and you're within a reasonable drive to town, you're probably going to be over $200,000. Okay, that's just where we are. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. And I am telling you that every day, every week, prices are going up because it is a simple economic supply and demand issue. What can you get on the cheap? Here's what you could get. You could get an acre with a small house, 2 acres with a small house. The further you are out into the woods, the cheaper property is, because everybody is afraid of being more than an hour away from town. Because what if you need a doctor? What if you have a fire? What if you have to work? What are you going to do, right? Everybody has these same concerns. If you are the type of person that, let's say you're self-employed and you're fairly healthy and you're kind of reclusive, you're not going to care if you're an hour and a half away from town. You're going to love that, right? The roads here are not straight and flat, okay? They are uber windy, uber curvy, and uber hilly. The biggest issue that we have here in the winter is a propensity for ice storms. And you are probably not getting into town if you live out, in the middle of nowhere and you have to do a back road. The other issue here is that the majority of farm type properties and homestead type properties are not on blacktop. You're going to have a minimum a half mile, sometimes as many as 5 miles to get from blacktop to your house. Again, this sounds great to people. I talk to people all the time. Yes, that's exactly what I want. That's awesome. And then they get here and we start driving the roads and they get out off the blacktop onto the gravel. And by the time we get to the house, they're exhausted and say, forget it. Can you find me something closer to town? So you have to already know, you need to have a really good idea of what it is that you truly want, what conveniences you are truly willing to give up and sacrifice to live the kind of lifestyle where you truly feel that you will be safe and protected and able to live the type of life you want. Our catchphrase for Patriot Relocation Network is, we live free here. And I use that all the time because it is true. I have people come here to look at properties from big cities and they're just kind of look around in awe and wonder, you mean I don't have to wear a mask into the grocery store? No, dude, you don't, because we live free here. Like, take your freedom back. Enjoy the patriotism that comes with being a true American, and enjoy the fact that while you're here, you are with many, many, many more like-minded people than not. We are probably 70% conservative, patriotic, freedom-loving Americans to 30% liberals. And the liberals here are starting to learn the lesson that they don't run the place. As much as they may want to, they don't. And they've tried to ship some BLM and Antifa protesters in. It has not gone well. It will not go well because we do live free here. So if you're ready, if you're thinking to yourself, man, I am ready. And Beth, I hear what you're saying, but that all sounds great to me. Then my last piece of advice for you is my first piece of advice for you. Stop waiting and get here quick. Because things are going to be crazy in November. And when the crazy really hits, the already scarce amount of property and rising prices are going to rise faster and get scarcer. It's just the reality of what it is. Outside of that, I happen to think that this part of the Ozarks is the best place in the whole wide world to live. It is amazing, unparalleled beauty. The people are incredible, wonderful, kind, giving, generous, loving, God-fearing, patriotic people. It is wonderful. It's a great place. I want you to come. I want to help you. We want to help you. What we love to do more than anything is help people buy a home and then help design it and fix it up for them. Like, we're great at it and we love it. I just want you to understand there's just not that much to choose from. And you really do need to adjust your expectations. We will help you And we will, if you are open-minded, we will help you find the perfect place. It may not be perfect when you buy it, but it will have the potential to be perfect. And we can help you as much or as little as you need. But you need to get off the fence and make the decision to come, because you really are running out of time. I'm sorry, I just don't know how else to say it, because I am getting so many phone calls, emails, texts every single day. So let's talk about some other options besides, everybody's, I want to be a prepper when I move there mindset, okay? This is a small town. It's, 12,000 people. We've got another small town of 12,000 people, an hour in any direction. In between those small towns are really small towns of 2,000, 3,000 people. There's a ton of them. All of those towns have really nice homes available. Yes, you are in town, but in town in rural America is not the same thing as being in town in a city like Dallas or LA or Vegas, or even being in the suburbs of one of those. It's totally different. If the shit hits the fan, which we all are pretty sure it's going to, you're going to be okay in a small town like that. In fact, it might even be better in a lot of cases, because you will have a whole small town full of folks, 90% of whom think the same way you do, who are skilled and trained in small town living, who are used to the lights going out, the power going out, the heat going out, know how to fix their cars, know how to, take care of stuff. That's who you're going to be surrounded by. You're not going to be surrounded by a bunch of looters and rioters and folks who just want to come in and kill you and steal your stuff. Okay. Realistically, you can live very comfortably and very safely here in town. And most of the homes in town are on a little piece of land. Like, our house is on a lot that's probably somewhere between 1/2 to 3/4 of an acre, as are the majority of the houses in this neighborhood. You can find a very nice, safe home to do micro homesteading in town. So don't discount that. You don't have to be out in the wilderness, to be safe and to have a better opportunity, a better quality of life than you may have if you are stuck in a tyrannically run city right now. If we do get to the point where there is a bloody civil war or an EMP or aliens or whatever other craziness they could throw at us, if we do get to that point, rural America is where you want to be. There is a reason why the New World Order folks have things like Agenda 21 and Agenda 32 or whatever the heck it is, where part of their goal is to get everybody out of the rural areas into the cities. If you want to live in a constitutional republic for another 100 years, we're going to have to fight for it. Things are scary right now. Like, I realize how scary it is. I think for some of us, it's scary and exciting. And for some of us, it's just scary and scary. And I think some folks are just like, I don't really think it's any big deal. I think if you combine all those things together, that's probably truly where we are. It's not normal, and I don't know if it'll ever go back to normal. But you do have the opportunity and the choice and the freedom to get from where you are to where you want to be. We did it. It was scary as hell. We're doing fine. We're thriving. Life is good. And we want the same for you. So if you are ready to get from there to here, reach out. We'd love to help you. We'd love to meet you. So thank you for stopping by. Sorry if this was a little rambly. Maybe I might have to break it into 2 videos. I probably will have to break it into 2 videos. And we'll try and keep you updated. We'll try and stay here for you through all of this. Thanks. If you haven't already liked and subscribed and shared and all that good stuff, please do so now. And we'll catch you on the next one.